Hello and welcome to our weekly conversation. I am Pastor Sally Hansen and I'm joined by my colleague, Pastor Stephen Bowman. It is a bright and sunny day and we are looking forward to this weekend. For many, it is a holiday weekend with it being Martin Luther King Day on Monday, where we celebrate his birthday, and taking that time to reflect back on the racial injustice within the United States and the prophet that Martin Luther King Jr. was to America and around the world. But we also, in our gospel text this week, Luke brings us to the city of Cana, which works out well in this Epiphany season as we really are lifting up and looking at the global church. So for this week, we're headed to Cana. What do you have to say about that, Pastor Bowman?
Yeah, this is not Cana, Illinois. This is Cana in the Holy Land. Had the opportunity to be in Cana, where Jesus in the Gospel of John did his first sign or miracle and changed water into the good stuff. So we were in a bus, as you are all through the Holy Land, and we stopped outside Cana in what's called the Golani Forest. It's a forest in the Galilee region. And we got out of the bus, and Joseph spoke very quietly about his wife of 40 years who had died 2 years ago. And then Julie recalled her husband of 39 years, also recently deceased. And so we spoke in the forest there and said prayers in English and Hebrew for loved ones who've died, yet continue in the presence of God. And then a plaque is unveiled. Joseph has planted a grove of trees in the Holy Land to remember his departed wife. Others in the group plant trees, living things, and remember those for whom they mourned. And then, after a brief journey through the beautiful hills and valleys of the Galilee, we walk through the winding streets of the ancient Arab town of Galilee. And it is a rickety kind of one-horse town and bazaars on the streets. And as we walk through those winding streets of this ancient Arab town, we gathered in the church erected to remember the first sign of Jesus recorded in the Gospel of John, changing water into wine. Across the street and all along the way, hawkers are vending Cana wine at $3 a bottle. And
Was it the good stuff though? At $3 a bottle was the Cana the good stuff.
It's, you know what? It's better than Boone's Farm. Anyway, then we go into the church, and Julie and Joseph disappear as we wait in the sanctuary. Joseph comes in a tuxedo and goes to the altar, standing next to me and a bishop, Catholic bishop, who'd been with us for this trip. And Julie walks down the aisle in a white wedding dress. A year ago, both of them, beside themselves with grief and loneliness, found each other at a church bereavement group. And so the bishop presides, the rabbi and I read the scriptures and share nuptial blessings. And Julie and Joseph are sacraments to God's renewing presence as they become husband and wife. And even in the midst of remembering the dead, we rejoiced in God's bottom line, l'chaim, to life. And so it's just a reminder, it's such a human thing, we're planting trees, we're remembering loved ones who are gone. We are celebrating a wedding. The warp and woof of human living, that's where Jesus did his first miracle. So Cana is the church basement or hall or destination wedding where you've been to your last wedding. That's where Jesus works.
Well, I love the way Jesus shows up where people are. He doesn't expect people to come to him. And I love when the Spirit does the same thing and allows us as pastors to be able to be present in those special moments of people's lives.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, Sally, is that it's a gloomy time right now, right?
Yeah.
And it's important to remember that Jesus is not only with us in those hard times, but he's the Lord of joy.
And wants to bring joy and be a part of our joy as well.
Yeah.
One of the things that often brings me joy on a weekly basis is to be able to see the energy of our Sunday school kids up in Henderson Hall. So we are meeting up there this week. Confirmation is not happening this week due to the MLK break without having school for most schools on Monday. And like you said, this world is kind of gloomy right now. We continue to have to traverse the ancient east of the pandemic, waiting for that star that to be able to say it's done. But in the meantime, we take the guidance where we can get it. So as the guidance from the CDC continues to unfold, our covenant of care indicates that we follow the CDC. So as those new guidelines come out, those apply to us here at St. Luke's as well.
Okay, and one more little moment of joy, and that is that we had our first Bible study with the two St. Luke's.
How'd it go?
St. Luke and Stereo. And it was wonderful. It was wonderful. We had I'd say 15 people or more.
Well, I heard it was quite the joy of realizing how small the Lutheran circle really was when there was folks from Park Ridge who attend St. Luke Belmont, or people who at one time had been a part of this St. Luke's and is now over at St. Luke. It's a small world.
Right. One St. Luke's former member who lives downstate Illinois had gone to the University of Chicago, and one of her heroes was Dr. Martin Marty. And all of a sudden she's looking at the Hollywood Squares there on Zoom, and she sees Dr. and Harriet Marty. And she got very verklempt. She said, she was so moved, and Dr. Marty and Harriet were moved to be recognized, seen.
Sure.
So anyway, 12 o'clock Thursday, we'll send the link to you, as well as and it'll be on the website as well as you can download the texts for the second Sunday
of Epiphany. Sounds great. I'll see you Sunday. You're here preaching and joining us in the flesh. We are excited to have you.
Glad to be here. Take care.
See you then.
Bye-bye.
Bye.